Good day, good people. It's your boy Mr. Ree, and I was going through my Twitter feed and I noticed there's already been some verbal and threatening behaviour and comments towards the new DC boss James Gunn, simply because he hasn't reached out to Zack Snyder to ask him about restoring the SnyderVerse and stuff like that. And I think that is pure madness. So my question for you today is, should we all be moving on from the SnyderVerse? Is it time for us to move on? That's the question. Now let me begin by saying I thought Zack Snyder's Justice League was absolutely awesome. Absolutely loved it. Knocked it out of the park. It was incredible. I mean, it was a bit long and bloated in places, but overall, fantastic. Everything was better than the Joss Whedon version. I mean, everything. I mean, from the extra Wonder Woman scenes to Flash going back in time, fantastic scenes, and even the emphasis on Cyborg, telling Cyborg's story, I thought classic, beautiful. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. So the fact Zack Snyder was able to go back and finish that film and put out the version that he wanted to put out was incredible, was amazing, and I'm very, very personally grateful to all those people who did the release of Snyder Cut hashtag and kept that movement going, supporting him until the movie actually got made. Thank you very much to all of you. Having said that, I do need you DC fans to remember that it is not life or death. These are comic book movies that are meant to be fun, meant to be entertainment, meant to be fantasy. They are not life or death situations. I mean, personally, I love the plans that Zack has for Justice League 2 and 3. I've seen the drawings, seen the storyboards, fantastic. I love the Nightmare stuff he did in Justice League Snyder Cut. Was really looking forward to the Nightmare stuff because it looks absolutely amazing. Seeing Superman face off was going to be classic, was going to be great. But from what I can see, Zack Snyder has moved on. He has moved on to other things. That's not to say he doesn't like what he created or what he's got planned, but he's actually moved on to other things. He's on Netflix now. He's created a universe in the Army of the Dead, which I thought was quite good as well. He's building other films around that and TV shows. He's also got his big sci-fi epic, Rebel Moon, he's working on right now with a great cast, and every indication is he wants to turn that into a series itself, into a sci-fi epic with different parts. So he's actually moved on. He's got things he's got going on that he's excited for. I have loved everything Zack Snyder has done since he joined DC. Since he was part of DC, I mean, I loved it. Not one part I didn't like. From Superman's introduction in Man of Steel. Now, let me say this. I think that bar original Superman with Christopher Reeve, bar Superman 1, I think Man of Steel is the best Superman film ever. Go back and watch it. Wildly underrated film. Underrated. Remember I said, apart from Superman 1, I think Man of Steel is the best Superman film ever. I think Batman vs Superman, again, was epic. I know it wasn't everybody's taste, but I absolutely loved the face-off there. I loved the head-to-head. Who could count out the warehouse scene with Batman? Batman warehouse scene, best Batman action scene, any movie, fight scene ever. And then don't forget the Wonder Woman introduction was in that film as well. Classic, beautiful introduction from Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Love that. But what we need to also remember is that while making the Justice League, he suffered a tragedy. He lost his daughter. So while he's got Warner Brothers trying to rip out his film and chop bits out of it, he also suffered that deep tragedy. In a way, going back and finishing Justice League must have been kind of cathartic for him, a form of therapy, to actually get past that, considering what he went through, the trauma he went through filming it. But have any of us considered that maybe after that's done, despite having the plans, the great plans, maybe he doesn't want to go back. Maybe he's actually happy with how he's left things there and wants to move on with his life. I mean, the reality of the situation is Zack is a director, but he's also a businessman. He's a producer for his own company. So if he really wanted to, he's got the phone numbers. He can reach out and call up James Gunn, give him a phone call, and they can discuss it and hash it out and say, does he have anything to bring to the table? They can talk about it. They don't really need us to fight that battle for him. And from all intentions I can see, he's focused fully on Rebel Moon. So he doesn't need us fighting for restoration of the Snyderverse right now. I mean, there's every chance that Zack sees Warner Brothers as being like he was in a marriage, and it was great at first, and he had all these long-term plans, but the marriage went sour. Now, just because the marriage has gone sour doesn't mean the plans you had are bad, but you just probably don't want to do them anymore because you don't want to do them with that person because they treated you so badly in that marriage. So even I know Warner Brothers management has changed, but he might just still have that feeling like, I don't want to go back there. So why are we forcing the matter? Maybe he doesn't want to go back there. I mean, it is not the end of the world. There are different ways to handle these characters There was a DC films before Zack Snyder, and God willing, there will continue to be DC films after. If everyone can remember, for some people, Tim Burton's 1989 Batman and its sequel, Batman Returns, were the template for superhero movies. It was like, that was it for Batman. And Jack Nicholson's Joker, everyone said that Joker can't be touched. It was just Jack Nicholson knocked it out of the park. That was it. But before that film started production, when Michael Keaton was announced as being Batman, there was a backlash. Now, there was no social media in 1989, but if there was, I can guarantee you people would have been on it screaming that they didn't want Michael Keaton because he just finished playing Beetlejuice. But what happened? Came out again, and everyone loved it. And in terms of history repeating itself, we got similar things with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. When he came out and announced that he's going to have Heath Ledger as the Joker, so many people, including myself, were like, Heath Ledger as the Joker? Hell no. Nope, don't want it. Don't want it. Not going to work out. And anyway, we've already got Tim Burton's Batman. And what happened? Christopher Nolan's trilogy came out. Heath Ledger came out fantastic. And now people then put Nolan's trilogy as being the ultimate. Again, people change very quickly. And then when we got announced recently that Matt Reeves was going to be doing the Batman trilogy, and he's got Robert Pattinson, people were like, oh no, not Robert Pattinson, not Twilight Boy, this is terrible, this is going to be horrible. What happened? Knocked it out of the park again. Fantastic. The Batman, absolutely incredible. In fact, in some ways, the Batman is my favourite Batman film because it did something new I hadn't seen before. Now, Robert Pattinson played Batman throughout the whole movie. You might say, of course he did. No, I mean, there was no Bruce Wayne. He didn't recognize the Bruce Wayne persona. He was that traumatized and that in his head that 24/7 he was Batman, whether he had a mask on or not. I hadn't seen that in the film before, and I absolutely loved it. The fact that you could just see Batman working even when he's dressed as a civilian. That's all his whole life was Batman, no Bruce Wayne. And I thought that was quite innovative. Absolutely loved that film. Incredible. So my point is, there's more than one way to handle these characters, and a new version or new interpretation or new plans doesn't invalidate what's gone before it or what's happened before it. Things can stand by themselves and we can enjoy new things as well. So let's all take a step back and let James Gunn show us, make some announcements and show us what he's actually got planned for DC. Seeing where James Gunn's interest lies is always with unknown characters or characters that haven't had that much limelight on them. So he went to Marvel and obviously he pulled out the Guardians of the Galaxy, who weren't very well known at all, and he turned them into household names. Similar things he's done with some of the characters he put in Suicide Squad, Peacemaker getting his own TV show off it, and I have a feeling that's where it's going to go now. I mean, he's already tweeted a picture of a DC character, Mr. Terrific, who isn't very well known at all, but I can see him going towards those sort of characters. That's not to say we're not going to get, obviously, new Batman, which we are, or a new Superman, Man of Steel 2, because obviously, and that's already kind of been announced that it's obviously in production, or they're writing it anyway. So we're still going to get those films, but I think his focus on DC is going to be putting out characters that we haven't maybe had big screen exposure for, and I think that's very exciting. I think it's good to see some new characters. As much as I'm the #1 Batman fan in the world, I was like, it's always good to see something new that you haven't seen before. So I'm excited to see what he's going to produce, what he's going to bring forward, what he's going to focus on. Now, if along the lines he decides that the SnyderVerse is part of his new plans, or some of it or all of it, he can get on the phone and call Zack Snyder himself, and they can chop it up themselves. They're both big boys. They don't need us on the internet fighting that battle for him. And if he doesn't, so what? C'est la vie, he doesn't. As I said, Zack Snyder has other projects on the way. He's working on that he's quite excited for, and James Gunn has a different sort of vision. Flooding James Gunn with abusive texts, hateful hashtags, or threatening to boycott DC or Warner is nonsense, pointless, and counterproductive. It will not achieve anything. Let's just stay calm, wait for the announcements, and hopefully see what exciting new prospects DC comes out with under James Gunn. So, my original question, is it time to move on for the SnyderVerse? In my opinion, yes. What do you think?